ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We shall continue today's Mulavidya Nirasa. Now the Purvapakshi was telling, I don't know, can we do this live? I am not sure. I couldn't do that. Now let us do at least little bit, as much as we can, maybe some 30-40 minutes. So the main issue was like this. By examining the three states, one comes to understand that one is free from states. One is not an individual undergoing states and stuck with the world. What is Jivatvam? What is samsara? Taking oneself to be an individual surrounded by a world undergoing states. Okay? Subject to states. This is what we feel that we are living through. So what Vedanta is trying to teach is, you are not an individual. As an individual, you are surrounded by a world. Okay. If you are not an individual, there is no world for you to surround. That means you are free from the world, you are free from your individuality and free from the world. The same thing is expressed somewhat differently. You are free from the states. You are not undergoing or going through states. So the states don't exist for you. That means you are a stateless person. You are not a part of a state, nor you are going through states. See, two things. Neither you are a part of a state, nor you are going through states. You are neither an individual, nor you have states for you. So you are free from states. This is what the Upanishad or the Vedanta is trying to teach you directly. This can be understood by examining the states. By examining the states, what you come to understand is there are no states in fact. And you also are not an individual. Neither you are an individual, nor you are going through states. This is what you need to discover. It is an existing fact. It is a self-existing fact. You have to come to discover it. You have to intuit this fact by examining the states. The states, if you examine them properly means the way the Upanishad teaches you, with the guidance of Upanishads. If you examine the states, you come to understand that you are free from states. There were never states, neither now, nor before, nor ever in future. You are somebody. You are the very existence, the truth of the entire universe. Neither you are an individual nor going through states. It is a self-existing fact you have to intuit. This you will discover only by observing the states. By observing the state, by examining the states, you understand that they are not states. They are not states of you. It is a wrong way of looking that you are stuck with the states. They don't exist for you. States don't exist for you, and you are not going through states. You are a stateless being, universal, absolute, and free from all. This is the thing one has to discover. So, Vedanta Prakriya, it says that examining the three states is enough to show you how you are free from the world and free from being an individual. You are neither an individual nor surrounded by the world, nor related to the world, because there is no world. So this These two go together. You being an individual and being stuck with the world. These two go together. And these two don't exist in your real nature. This has to be pointed out. All that one needs to do is examine the states in a proper angle. So that was the Prakriya Vedantin told. But a common man thought that, no, examining the three states is not enough. And he says, I have examined three states enough. I found that the world has been there and I have been an individual. I found I found myself to be free from neither individuality nor free from the world. I am stuck with both as being an individual and also with the world. So by examining the three states, in fact, my sense of individuality is confirmed. This is what common man thinks. By examining the three states, he thinks that his individuality remains intact and his being related to the world also remains intact. You can never be free from the world. World may change, modify, but your relationship with the world relation means you are a part of the world. World is inevitable. Maybe you may modify the world, maybe a different world, slightly better world, but it is a world. The time, space, subject, object, interaction, you are continuously working and subject to pain and pleasure. These things you cannot get rid of. You can't be free. And the Mulavidya Prakriya, next comes the Mulavidya Prakriya. From the 6th to the 9th, he says, yes, you can't be free from the world. So what common man thinks, that Mulavidyavadi gives a more sophisticated technical explanation for common man's view. He doesn't correct the mistake of a common man. The very common man's view is due to a mistake, that he is undergoing states, that there is a world and I am stuck with it, I can never be free. All this is common man's thinking. So the Mulavidyavadi, being a Vedantin, instead of helping him to understand that you are free from the world, free from states, instead of helping him to understand how he is free from the world, he is reinforcing his individuality and his relationship with the world. This is the biggest mistake. So that means he is only following common man's view in designing the Prakriya. In designing the Vedanta Prakriya, he is only following the common man's view, retaining the common man's view, continuing the common man's view, rather than debunking common man's view. Okay? The common man's view presupposes ignorance. It is a misunderstanding. It is a wrong view that I am an individual going through states. So the very root has to be hacked. The very root has to be hacked, pulled out, plucked out. Instead of that, he is reinforcing, he is responding to the common man's misunderstanding. He is more reflecting common man's view, and the Prakriya he designed is not helping him. Moreover, it is reinforcing the common man's view. Now he says, he presents the same common man's point little more technically. How technically? Common man, let us see, common man told that the world exists in some or other form in all the three states. That's all. That's a simple and straight answer. World exists in all the three states. By examining the three states, you will never come to know that you are free from the world and you are not an individual. You are the pure existence, pure consciousness. This you could never know by examining the states. So he says, Mulavidyavadi says, if you examine the world, he says that in the waking state, world is fully present. The full-fledged world, fully bloomed world you find. and half bloomed in the dream state. He says the world is fully bloomed world in the waking state, and in the dream it is like a bud, in a bud state, in a partially bloomed, not completely, but in deep sleep it remains in the form of a seed. See, a seed, bud and flower. He says deep sleep is a seed state, dream is a bud state, waking is a fully blossomed flower or even fruit, fully blossomed flower or fruit. This is what Mulavidya Vadin's thinking is. So this may look improvement over common man's. It looks that he improved over common man's understanding of three states. So he is not just blindly agreeing with common man, agreeing with common man's view of three states. No, he is differing, partly differing. He is transcending. He is going much deeper, much advanced. It looks that he is much deeper, much advanced. But I tell you, ultimately, however advanced he may look, however deep he may look, however sophisticated, but all that he says is only sophisticated common man's view. You present highly sophisticated common man's view, and it's not helping you to drop the very common man's view. What is that? See, tell you. He takes that states are in the world. This is the biggest mistake the Mulavidyavadi is making. This is the crucial mistake. So, avasthas are within the world. Then you are passing through avasthas. You are passing through avasthas. You are an individual passing through avasthas, and avasthas along with you exist in the world. If this is the stand taken, and this is the basis for your entire prakriya, this prakriya is going to fail. It won't help you to understand how you are free from states, how you are free from the world. Neither the world, nor the states, nor the individuality. None of them exist. In fact, all of them are only false things, false appearances, misunderstandings, false perceptions. So the straight answer would have been this. So, they think Mulavidya Vadins present that time. One more point, I said the same thing I am presenting slightly differently. Avasthas pass through time. Avasthas occur in a time. See, what they present is the avasthas, waking, dream and deep sleep. Avasthas occur in time, one after the other. Therefore, the deep sleep is a past experience, dream is also a past experience, waking is present. Or you are going to sleep again, sleep is a future. Like this, they take waking, dream and deep sleep or passing in a sequence, passing through time. This is the biggest mistake they have adopted. It looks right because common man lives in this mistake, the fundamental mistake, the instinctive mistake of jiva. The jiva's instinctive and fundamental mistake is that avasthas exist in time, and I am going through avasthas. If this is the stand they take in order to design the Vedantic prakriya of the method of Vedantic inquiry, method of self-inquiry. So if this is the method they have designed, it's the biggest mistake. See, watch, I tell you, time is within the waking state. There is another time within the dream state. In deep sleep, there is no time. Okay? Two things. Time, the time that we experience, past, present and future. These 3 periods of time is experienced, is present in waking state. Again, another time series consisting of past, present and future is experienced in dream. But there is no common time series, common time scale connecting waking and dream. Underlying waking and dream, there is no common time. Time is experienced within waking and within dream. In between waking and dream, there is no time and place. Okay? In between waking and dream, neither there is time nor there is a space. Therefore, avasthas cannot be presented as preceding or succeeding to one another. Because avasthas, each avastha is independent, directly imposed, directly superimposed upon the Sakshi Atma. They cannot be connected. This is the biggest mistake. You cannot be free from time. The time, you get stuck with the time and you will not understand how time is false. The scientist explanation, like Einstein and all others, they say that the time is relative and all that. That is only theoretical explanation. That is good for studying the books and getting Nobel Prizes. But it doesn't help you to transcend time and remain timeless existence. You as a Sakshi, you as a Chaitanya Atma, stand without time, free from time. But this experience no scientist can give you because they themselves don't have. Their explanation is more theoretical. Why more? It is all theoretical. Their explanation is theoretical, is a conceptual. So they say time is relative. That's all. But nobody is free from time. Time comes into effect only as long as you are an individual. It is an individual who lives in time, passes through time. Time is passing. Time means krama samvit. Our Guruji would say in Hindi, North Indian Guruji, krama samvit kaal hai. He would say like that. Vrindavan Swamiji, Akhandananda Swamiji would say, krama samvit. An experience of sequence, an experience of passing is called time. But that sequence or passing or continuity, the idea of continuation occurs to an individual. See, when there is a point of space, you can experience a time. So time and space are interrelated. When you have a point of time, when you have a point of space, then you have a point of time also. And that is jiva, that is individuality. Individuality, jivahood is point, a point of space, a point of time. You take a point and live at that point. That is jivahood. So shifting the point from another to another place is called punarjanma. Punarjanma, rebirth, means you are related to the world. How are you related to the world? You constitute a point in the world. The world is around me. Front, back and left and right. You are in the center. The so-called center, the point, is jivahood. So through body, you assume a point of space, a point of time, and the world surrounds you and you are stuck with the world. You are an individual interacting with the world. You do some action, you do some karma, and the world influences you. You use the world and world influences you. This is the mutual. First thing is you are also part of the world. In fact, this very talking of you and the world itself is the biggest mistake. These Mulavidya Vadins also talk like that. You and the world, me and the world, this is wrong. Me and the world are not two things. They are one block. Okay, just like a paper. You take a paper, paper has the two sides. Can you have one side of the paper without the other side? You can't take one page. Somebody asked like this, I need just one page to note down something. He told he took out the paper and tried to give him. And he said, oh, you are giving me 2 pages. No, I want only 1 page. I don't need 2 pages. How can you give 1 page? How can you give 1 page and leave out the other page? Because once you take a sheet, bound to come 2 sides of the sheet are bound to come. You can't avoid. Therefore, front and back. You lift the sheet, two sides of front and back come. Now he says, I want only one page. Oh, this person is not less. He is also a very clever man. He understood. This fellow is trying to tease me. Okay, trying to fool me. You know what he told? Oh, I have got this sheet which contains two sides, front and back. You want only one page? Come on, take only one page and return the other page to me. He is also clever enough. He told, take one page and return the other page. Then he understood. Then he told, okay, no, I don't mind. You give me a complete sheet. Okay, you leave it. Here, once you take a paper sheet, you get two sides of it. You can't have one side. Similarly, you as an individual Jiva and the world are not two. Jiva coming into the world, Jiva living in the world. This is a wrong expression. This confirms our Jiva's misunderstanding, the fundamental misunderstanding that you are living in the world, you come into the world, you go out of the world. These are the wrong expressions. Okay? You neither come into the world nor go out of the world so this world and you, there is no world and you. World includes you, you include the world. Once you say you, the world has automatically come in. There can't be world without you. You see, in deep sleep, you don't exist as an individual. Do you experience the world? You don't exist as an individual. In deep sleep, do you experience the world? To be able to experience the world, you have to be an individual. Only as an individual, you enter into the world and you get related to the world. You erase your individuality, there is no world for you. Okay, so the world and you are not two things. They are two sides of the one sheet of paper. Okay, world and you, they are two sides of the one sheet of paper. They are not two separate things. Therefore, in waking state, you are an individual who is a part of the waking world, not entered into the waking world. You are a part. You are a part of the waking world. World and you are one block. One block means two sides of the same paper. One block inseparable. Therefore, I as an individual located in one point of space, located in one point of time, then time comes into picture. Time means present, past and future. Something past, now I am present, and there is something future. So this time is inevitable as long as you are an individual. And because of this time, you think that world is moving, events are taking place, things are happening, experiences are moving. And similarly, you think that, okay, world is moving, things are moving, all that partly true. But one biggest mistake is avasthas, waking, dream and deep sleep state also, states are moving. States are coming in a sequence in time. This is the biggest mistake. Time is in the state. Note, this is important. Now the Vedantins teaching is time is experienced within the state. A time that is experienced in waking state belongs to waking alone. This time doesn't jump into dream. The time, the scale of time, the scale of time that you experience in dream is totally different from the time which you experience in the waking. Therefore, you can't say 10 o'clock I am in waking state and 10.1 minute. 1 minute past of 10 in the dream. You can't continue in the dream. You can't say, or other way around, 9 o'clock you are in the dream, it is 9 o'clock. When you wake up, what happens? Is it 1 minute past of 9? If you are dreaming 9 o'clock, if you find that you are experiencing 9 o'clock in dream, when you wake up from dream, what do you find? 1 minute past of 9? You can't connect the time between dream and waking. Okay. Our experience tells you have to examine properly. So the right way of examining helps you to understand how the time which is experienced by a dream individual in dream belongs to the dream world alone. In the waking, the whole world ceases to be there. You are a different individual. The world is not there. The time scale is not there. It's a totally different. So the past, present and future. See, past, present and future, the three periods of time or three parts of time or three aspects of time. Take whatever way you like. Three parts of time, three aspects of time. So this time that is experienced in waking belongs to waking world alone, waking state alone. So you as an individual is a part of the waking state, therefore part of the waking time. As long as you are waking time is inevitable. Then as long as you experience the waking time, you continue to be a waking individual. So this is inseparable. Waking individual, experiencing the waking time, and the waking world, all these three are one block, inseparable. Okay, therefore, there is no time relationship between waking and dream. Because waking ends, dream has not started. Tell me, what is that in between? There is no time, no space. Okay, waking ended, dream has not started. What is there? Nothing. There is no time, there is no place, no world, not even you as an individual. Okay, therefore, time is experienced within the waking state, within the dream state, and deep sleep is not time-bound state. It is not time-bound. The very sleep, that's why we say sleep is not, in fact, not a state at all, because there is no time-bound. There is neither a subject who experiences the deep sleep, nor there is an object, nor there is a sequence, nor there is a movement, nor there is any relationship with something else. Therefore, deep sleep cannot be called as a state. So anyway, at the moment we take that deep sleep is not a time-bound state. You can never note the beginning and ending of deep sleep. Do you see the beginning of deep sleep? No. Beginning implies time. You can never note time, because time ceases. With reference to the experience of deep sleep, or in the experience of deep sleep, time has no place. Okay, time ceases to be there with reference to your deep sleep. So you can't put deep sleep as a part of time. At certain time it began and lost for some time and then comes to an end. Deep sleep doesn't begin, doesn't pass, doesn't come to an end, because beginning, running and ending, these three are experiences of time. That means related to time. Beginning, running and coming to an end. These three are related to time. Okay. But these three don't exist for deep sleep. That means there is no time. So how can you put deep sleep as related to waking? How? Who is there to relate? Waking state is waking. Time, space, subject, object. Deep sleep is totally different. You cannot relate to them, you cannot connect with them. Therefore, these three states, so the basic defect Mulavidya makes is that you are passing through states. This is one mistake. States are passing in time. This is another fundamental mistake. Mulavidya is making another fundamental mistake is states are appearing, coming in a sequence. They come and go. They take even deep sleep also is passing through time. Waking, dream and deep sleep, all three occur in time. And these three states and time, all that occurs within the world. States are occurring in the world. That's the biggest mistake. States are occurring in the world. So world is independent. And you as an individual is within the world. And you are going through states. You and states occur within the world. This is the fundamental mistake of Mulavidyavadi. So the right stand is, time experienced in the waking pertains to waking alone. It doesn't come out of waking. Time experienced in dream pertains to dream alone. There is no common time between waking and dream. There is no time. There is no time between waking and dream, nor there is a common time underlying between waking and dream. That means they don't occur in a sequence. There can't be any time relationship in terms of time. Time means a period, time means a sequence. Okay, time means a sequence. Time means a certain length. So waking and dream can't be related to each other through time. There is no time. Time is experienced within the state, not underlying the states. Then what underlines the states? Pure existence, pure consciousness. Underlying the states is Sakshi alone, the consciousness alone. There is no time. Time is within the waking. Individuality is within waking state, within dream state. Underlying the states, there is no individuality. There is no individuality common to three states. Individuality is experienced within waking, an apparent individuality in dream, and no individuality in deep sleep. Therefore, there is no common individuality underlying waking and dream and deep sleep. So this is the right way of looking at avasthas. If we understand this, then you can see clearly how you are free from states, how you are free from individuality. The pure existential Atma is always there, eternal, ever-existing, self-shining. So the mistake they have committed is that the states occur in the world. If the states occur in the world, what is the purpose in examining the states? You examine the states. Even after examining the states, you remain an individual. Because if an individual is passing through states, if individual jiva is passing through states, by examining all three states, you stand as common to three. You stand as an individual jiva, kartru, bhoktru, pramatru. You as a karta, bhokta, pramata stands as a common basis for all the three states. That means by examining the three states any number of times, you arrive at only pramatrutvam jivatma alone. You can never be free from jivatva. You see that what a biggest mistake, fundamental mistake. You can't be free from jiva bhava, because it is the jiva who is going through all the three states. You can never be free from it. Therefore, this ekiya samadhanam. So in that sixth point of this first chapter of Mulavidya Nirasa, in 6th, 7th and 8th, even 9 also, these 4 passages, 4 khandas, the Mulavidyavadi says that avastha, by examining the 3 states, samsara won't go away, avidya won't go away, world won't go away by examining the 3 states. That's because his very prakriya of examining 3 states is fundamentally wrong. It is fundamentally wrong. That's why he is not able to see himself. He is not able to see the Atma free from the states, free from sequence, free from the world. Because the basic mistake is, it is the individual that is going through states. And the states are within the world. World remains eternal. That's all. World remains eternal. Individual jiva remains eternal. It is only states that keep coming and going. States keep coming and going. Jivatvam is eternal and the world is eternal. With this prakriya, what do you get? You can never be free from the world. They say that yes, avasthas changing, they are occurring. Yes, we understood. But that's all useless. Because you made a fundamental, without correcting the fundamental mistake, you are watching the states which don't help much, which don't help you much. Avasthas changing, everybody knows. Avastha changing is not real. In fact, avastha changing is not real. It's because your mind is working through time. Anything it sees only through time. Therefore, it looks that avastha is changing. Okay? That's because the mind is working through time alone. It's not free from time. One has to be released from time. The sequence of previous and later. You have to stand timeless, then only you will be free from the world. You have to stand timeless. The pure existence is timeless. Existence can't be put within time. Time is in the existence. You have to see like that. Time is existing. Time is within consciousness. Consciousness is not bound to time, any period of time. This is the Viveka, most important. Okay. Therefore, in Mulavidya Vadis Purvapaksha, he says world exists in cause and effect form. So the waking and dream world is there as an effect, whereas in deep sleep world is there as a cause of it. The seed form, it is in the Bija Rupa. In the form of seed world exists. That means he is seeing deep sleep in the same level of waking and dream. He is seeing the deep sleep at the same level of waking and dream. And you pass from the waking to deep sleep and dream, and so easily from waking to sleep, sleep to waking, waking to sleep, sleep to waking. They exist at the same level. Go and come so far easily. This is the biggest defect. Going and coming is so easy for you. That means they are the two. Waking and sleep you are putting, or dream, you are putting in the same sequence. That is the biggest mistake. Then if you put in the same sequence, experienced by the same individual, then individuality never goes. Your Jiva Bhava never goes, never disappears. When Jiva Bhava doesn't go, then the world also continues. Then what is the difference? Common man's outlook and this Vedanta Prakriya's outlook is not much different. They are retaining common man's view. Therefore, their Prakriya is giving trouble. So, Shankara's Prakriya, Swamiji gave another name to this book that we are studying now, Mulavidya Nirasa. Swamiji has given another name, Shankara Hrudayam. So it is a Shankara's Prakriya. Therefore, let us call it is a Shankara's Prakriya or Sachidananda Swamiji's Prakriya. The other one is a Mulavidya Prakriya, Mulavidya Vadis Prakriya. So, Mulavidya Vadis Prakriya tries to retain the world in all the three states, in some or other form. In the waking state, it is a fully bloomed state. In dream, it is in a state of bud, whereas in deep sleep, it is in the form of seed. That means seed, bud and flower or fruit. All the three belong to the same world, same category. You can't be free from the world. Okay. Therefore, if deep sleep is a state of seed, and from the seed sprouts or springs the waking state. Waking state springs or waking state sprouts from a seed, sprouting. Something like that if you take it, then the seed and sprout are interrelated. And there is the very interrelation assumes the time also. Without time, how do you relate? So then the cause and effect. One is cause and effect, another is time. If you retain time and cause and effect, then you can never be free. You can never be free from the world. Okay. Therefore, Mulavidya Vadi said, which we have been discussing in the last 2 or 3 classes regarding Sushupti. In the 6th passage, he told Sushupti involves a causal state. Sushupti is a causal state, cause for the world, in the form of seed. That he has given 5 arguments we discussed now, I don't want to repeat. So, he says Sushupti means, Sushupti is a state, and another thing is Sushupti is a cause to the world, waking world. Then you can never be from Jiva. In the next 7th point which we are discussing now, he says, Jagaritepi pratyaksham anubhuyate. This point we have to discuss. We'll discuss in the next class. Just I'll say briefly, Even in waking state, the world is. In deep sleep, the world is there in the seed form. In the waking also, there is a world. That means a world is there in all the three states. So, this he is going to say, we will discuss in the next class. Now, I'll give you briefly the total prakriya of Mulavidyavadi. Then if that is the case, then what is avidya? That causal state is avidya, he says. And if that is avidya, how does it go away by jnanam? And he says, it has to be broken, it has to be destroyed. Ajnanam is a substantial seed form and it has to be destroyed. This again is a mistake. How can jnanam destroy something? Jnanam is karakam, natu karakam. This Bhashyakara has been telling and our Anubhava says. Anubhavas. Recently one Swamiji, I have seen a video by quoting a Bhagavad Gita shloka. He says, Yathaidamsi samiddhognihi bhasmasat kurute arjuna jnanagnis sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute sada. Just a small video clip of 1 minute. This has been circulating. The Mulavidyavadis felt thrilled by this shloka with the Swamiji's explanation. But this shloka is giving a wrong example. There you can see the bhashya on that. It is the 4th chapter. On the bhashya you can see how Bhashyakara explains somewhat differently. See, fire burns the piece of wood. Fire burns just as the fire burns the piece of wood, so too Atmajnanagni burns away the karma. This is a big misunderstanding. I tell you, this example is misleading. How? Agni burning a stick is a karma. Note it. It is a modification. It is a change. It is an action. Agni burning a stick and reducing it into ashes. It is a karma. But jnanam is not a karma. Note it. So you can't compare it with fire. Jnanam is not karma. Jnanam only points out, it illumines like light. Light illumines, doesn't bring about any change. Light is not like fire which burns. So therefore, Jnanam doesn't destroy avidya. Jnanam shows how avidya is not there. Corrects avidya, not destroys. Correction avidya means it shows how avidya is not there. There is only Brahman, that's all. Nothing to be removed, nothing to be destroyed, nothing to be burnt out. So they say avidya is a substance, seed form, it exists in deep sleep and it will be burnt. So in Bhashya we use it in Vedanta that jnanam destroys avidya. Knowledge destroys ignorance. That's a figurative way, don't take literally that it destroys. If destroying is kriya, it is not the nature of jnanam. Jnanam doesn't do any kriya. Jnana, note it, jnanam doesn't do any kriya. Bhashyakara says repeatedly in Prasthanatrayi Bhashyam, jnanam tu jnapakam natu karakam. Jnanam only points out, doesn't bring about any change. It's not an action. Jnanam is not an action. Jnanam is only simply illumination. Therefore, if there is a seed form of avidya in deep sleep, and then what does the jnanam do? Jnanam comes and destroys it? Yes, it destroys. That's what they say. They say that yes, it destroys. This is again a fundamental defect in their prakriya. Therefore, in the 4th passage, 4, 6 to 9, 4th passage he says, therefore, I'm just telling briefly, we have to discuss again tomorrow. The 7th and, 8th and 9th we have to, 6th, 7th also we have to discuss. 7th, 8th, 9th we have to. I'm putting summary of these 4 passages together, 4 khandas. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all these 4 passages of Purvapakshi, I'm giving a summary of all the 4, then only it is easy to understand. If you go point by point, it becomes too elaborate and too confusing. So therefore he says, examining of the 3 states is not enough. To remove your ignorance, to destroy the ignorant, you need something else. Examining of 3 states helps you. That Atma is separate from Anatma, Atma is separate, independent of Anatma, separate. Only to separate the Atma, Anatma, the examination of three states, avastatraya viveka helps, but it doesn't remove avastas, doesn't remove samsara, doesn't remove ajnanam. That goes away by Mahavakya. How that Mahavakya? That's again different prakriya. Probably if you have studied Mulavidya prakriya, you know it. If you don't know, I'll tell you anyway. That's my job. So they say that how Mahavakya removes ignorance. Okay. So avastha. So the three points which I told you: common man's view, Mulavidya prakriya, and Shankara prakriya. Common man thinks that three states there is a world. Anyway, by examining three states, neither world goes away, nor jiva goes away, nor samsara goes away. So by examining the three states, samsara won't go away, it doesn't help. So something else, if you have, teach us. But don't teach avastatraya viveka, it doesn't work. This is what common man is thinking. Mulavidya Vadan says, examination of three avastas is useful, but it doesn't remove ignorance. Because ignorance exists in deep sleep, it exists in waking, it exists in dream. In all the three states, when ajnana continues to exist in a sequence, keep on passing and moving, you only see that there is a moving chakra, three states. That's all. Avidya won't go away. And avidya has to be destroyed by Mahavakya. But I tell you, Mahavakya produces jnanam. No jnanam can destroy anything. Jnanam is not fire. Jnanam is light. Okay? Jnanam is fire. See, fire and light. Fire has got two things, heat and light. Heat burns, fire illumines. Heat is a kriya. Light is not a kriya. Light is only a jnanam. Light illumines. Illumination is jnanam. No kriya. But burning is a kriya. Because the kriya produces change. Parivartana. Vikara. It produces a change. It reduces one into another. Therefore, heating, burning is a kriya. Burning is an act. So, jnanam doesn't destroy like that. So, this is their mistake. So, Vedantins, Shankara's prakriya was told briefly in the first paragraph alone. In the first passage alone, by examining the three states, you understand that there are no states. There is no individuality. There is no world. Individuality, states and world, all the three don't exist. You alone exist as a non-dual pure consciousness, pure existence. By just examining, you come to discover that you are already free. There are neither states, nor individuality, who is going through states, nor there is a world. Okay? This direct experience, this direct understanding frees you. Therefore, examination of three states is enough to understand the truth according to Shankara. Examining three states helps you, but not completely. This is Mulavidyavadis. Then common man says that examining the three states doesn't help in any manner. World remains, samsara remains, I remain, everything remains. So this is the three standpoints. Okay, we'll discuss in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.